Hello there, welcome to Built on the Rock. Yeah, we got a camera hog. Excuse me, Tiger. Yeah, excuse me, Tiger. Last week I was in my bedroom getting comfortable. For some bizarre reason, I get the best cell signal in my bedroom, which makes no sense logically. In fact, at one time I got the worst signal, but now I get the best signal. So I was getting all comfortable in my bed. Sorry, the cat's playing with the phone. And I have a shelving unit in my bedroom where I keep a lot of canned goods. And when I mean canned goods, I'm talking about those items that I can, either with my water bath canner or my pressure canner. I can them. And so I store some canning equipment there too. I have an awfully big bedroom, way too big. Don't need that much room just for a bed for one person. Well, I was getting all comfortable and I heard a ping. So I got up and investigated. Now, there's a lot of controversy. You go and you can your jar and then you got to store it. And a lot of people will store it with this lid. And I used to store them with the lid. But then I started joining canning groups and I started finding people who did not store it with the lid. So I stopped doing that. And I'm so glad. Now, the ball canning books won't say anything about taking the ring off. But if you leave the ring on, the seal can come apart and the ring will keep the lid from really separating thoroughly, and it can actually reseal, and that's really, really dangerous. One of the problems with canning your own food from home is botulism, which is tasteless, odorless, you don't know. And you're Tiger, and you don't know if there's been exposure. It's really dangerous. But because I always take these lids off when I'm canning, I heard the ping. And thankfully I was in the room when I heard the ping, but I would have discovered this when I took it off the shelf because this was really bad. And so I started going over every jar. Oh, sorry, Tiger, get out of here, please. I started going through every single jar on the shelf, and I came to this jar. Let me show you. This jar immediately came apart. In this jar, I don't know, I can't see because of the cat. Yeah. I think I'm getting the picture. I'll take another picture if it doesn't work. This is green tomato salsa verde. So it's made with green tomatoes and peppers, and it's to make chicken enchiladas with. Instead of using tomatillas, you use green tomatoes, and I love it. I love the chicken enchiladas that it makes. That's pretty nasty, and obviously I'm not eating it. But if this had been on there, it would have pushed the lid back on, and I might never known that it hadn't sealed properly. And I might have gotten sick without knowing. But because the lid came completely off, and this is not the first time it's happened. It's happened a couple of times where the lid I've heard a ping, or I went to grab a jar and the lid came right off. That would not have happened. In fact, I have taken a few older jars off. I have one jar of salsa in there that the ring is still on. It was one of the first I've ever canned. I can't even get the ring off. It's rusted. I cannot get that ring off. I've tried ever so often. I've tried all sorts of ways, just can't get the ring off. Probably gonna have to throw the jar away. Definitely I'm not gonna ever use those contents because I mean, why did this get rusted and sealed on there? But I have come across jars that were actually sealed that had one of these rings still on there. And when I opened it up, I could tell something was wrong. And I threw it out. Often, I've been given a lot of these canning jars from people cleaning out their cupboards who, like, it was canned a long time ago and they're just never going to eat it. And I have found, you know, these lids will be on there and they're sealed. But you open them up and you can tell they didn't seal properly to begin with. And then other times they sealed, they looked fine, but something just, I don't know. This is, when you seal, they shouldn't bounce up and down here. It should be like indented, and I found them kind of squishy. I mean, there's just all these signs that says, be careful. And in every time I have come across one that I've had questionable, it had one of these lids on. If it doesn't have one of these lids, and then this lid will be loose, and I'll know. I'll just know. So that's why I always take the lids off now. I never, as soon as the 24 hours have passed and my jars are, you know, you take them out of the counter, out of the canner, you put them on a towel to let them cool, and they'll all seal up. You know, you'll hear all these ping sounds and they'll all get sealed up. And then I'll take these lids off. And that's another, I just thought of another thing. There's been several times where when I took these lids off, I discovered it never sealed in the first place. I had one jar, I tried sealing it twice, still didn't seal. The lid was defective. I've had several lids that were outright defective. And if I hadn't taken this off, I would not have known it never sealed in the first place. It was outright defective. And when I threw the lid away and got a fresh lid, it sealed. So I just make it a practice now. As soon as, you know, they're cool and ready to be put on the shelf, I'll take this off. And then, and I'll check every one of these lids. I'll check the lid, make sure it's sealed. And the ones that are sealed go on the shelf. If it's not sealed, I check the lid, I'll re-seal it, get a new lid, and redo it. Or put it in the fridge right away and just use it right away if I don't have anything else to can. But I just wanted to share that information. That's why I always now take this off. 100% of the time, before I put the jars on the shelf, I take these rings off and I check. And if you're not doing that, if you're canning stuff and you're not taking these rings off, I really encourage you to take them off, check, make sure the lid's sealed, and then store them without this. You don't need this on when it's on the shelf. You really don't need it, and you shouldn't use these on in the storage, when you're storing your jars. So that's all I wanted to share. And thank you for watching. I hope you're having a blessed day. I hope this video was insightful, educational, something. And you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.